Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. The cosmos is shifting and Aries season is here. It's a time of bold actions, fearless beginnings, and fiery energy. But before we dive into what the Aries season is going to bring, let's explore the very essence of Aries, the sign of raw instinct, survival, and leadership. Greetings, salutations, and good now. I'm astrologer Kevitz Major, doing it major, helping you to do it major with the power of astrology. Buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into what makes Aries the fire starters of the zodiac. Let's get into it. There are three main components to understanding any zodiac sign. Let's start with the element. The element of Aries is fire. Ooh, the fire. All right, so fire represents our willpower, passion, action, externalization, and our ability to expand. Okay? Let's speak secondly about the modality. Aries is cardinal, making them initiators. They love to create and they love to initiate. They love to lead. They like to be first. Aries is symbolic of the head in anatomy as well. And so Aries love to be the head and not the tail. One thing that is important as well is knowing if it is a yin or a yang sign. And so Aries is yin, but the yang of the yin. I know it's a bit complicated, but when it comes to the internal signs or the yin signs, the fire is the more external of the internal signs. So it's yang yin. Or when it comes to the yin side, it's more yang. Okay? Making I know it's a bit more complicated. I'll put an image up so you guys could see. But when we put all of these things together, again, fire being an internal sign, being a feeling sign, Aries are initiating or creating new ways of acting out on the internal realms, acting out on their emotions. So that is Aries in a nutshell. Let's speak about the dignities, which also help us to define the Aries energy. Aries is ruled by Mars. Now, in mythology, Aries is symbolic or represents the god of war, Ares, which is known for pure combat action, charging forward without hesitation, courage, raw energy, and symbolizing battles or warfare. Mars is also known to be that fiery, aggressive, fierce, sheer power that's direct, that's brave, that's forceful. And so Mars rules Aries. So you could see where Aries would get its impulsive or just aggressive, natures. The sun is exalted in Aries. Aries brings vitality and confidence, leadership to the sun. So anybody born under Aries sun have the natural knack of being a leader or just being ahead of the pack. All right, so others would have to follow the trail that you blaze. That's why trailblazer is synonymous for the Aries. Saturn falls in Aries. Saturn deals with boundaries and restrictions, limitation, being patient. So Aries always resists restrictions and patience. So Saturn discipline struggles here. So Aries again may struggle when it comes to being disciplined or having boundaries or restrictions. Venus it's in its detriment, or it has to work a lot harder here. So Aries is too independent and too aggressive for Venus's harmony. Love is direct, but Aries is impatient. Understanding the dignities gives you a comprehensive view of the Aries archetype. All right, so let's summarize and then get into some positive, neutral, and negative traits of the Aries energy. We have Mars being the home of Aries, or Mars being home in Aries, making it very aggressive, very direct, very external, very raw, blunt, pure energy. The sun is exalted here, making our actions bold, courageous, and fast. Okay, speed is another word that is synonymous to Aries. Again, they are the initiators, they are the creators, and to initiate or create, you have to be first. And to be first, well, that takes a level of speed. Saturn falls here, and so when it comes to just the earth element, being grounded, being patient, being disciplined, Aries may struggle in this department. And when it comes to love, being romantic, or just being in harmony with others, Aries may also struggle because they love to be independent and they're also a bit rough around the edges. Let's dive into some positive traits about Aries. Courageous, bold, passionate, confident, action-oriented, direct, trailblazers. All of those are characteristics, positive characteristics of an Aries. Aries, again, they like to lead, they like to be first, they like to be ahead. And so innately, that makes Aries more experienced than others, just because they would have a lot of experience first. And in some way, shape, or form, they are almost like protectors, because they are ahead of the pack, if not operating independently or solo, being a lone wolf, which we're going to get into that. They could serve as, some sort of protectors. They could alert, others of things to come, just because they have that first-hand experience before all of us, them being again master initiators. When it comes to more neutral traits of the Aries, they're very competitive because of Mars, very aggressive. They move fast, very adventurous, assertive, and energetic folks. All right, so sounds like a good time with the Aries, right? Some negative traits about Aries, or the Aries energy, because we know that under a heavy Aries influence, any human could act out in this manner. And so being impulsive, being impatient, being aggressive, being reckless, selfish, self-centered, or even short-tempered are all Aries characteristics. Now, here's something that I found really interesting about the Aries. Aries represents the instincts and survival, and here's why. Because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, it represents birth and just that raw primal energy. Think about being the first being to ever exist. How would you navigate the new world that you're in? And so the Aries energy almost always look at every scenario as a new situation, and they act using their gut instinct versus overthinking or relying on a vast experience bank. Aries is ruled by Mars, so Aries fights first and then asks questions later. It's very headstrong, but not about deep logic. Instead, it pushes through fearlessly, and then, they could contemplate and reassess the experience that they just had. Let's compare Aries to the other fire signs. Okay, we could see from the table above how all of the fire signs differ. Aries, again, they are the creators and initiators. Very fast, raw, impulsive, direct. Leos, they're going to dominate and even entertain because they're dramatic and they have the warmth, they could command attention. And Sagittarius is, well, they love exploring, inspiring and teaching others. Let's explore how Aries would show up in a birth chart. If an individual has the sun in Aries, they are a born leader. Fearless, confident, action oriented, and their energy is unbelievably high. If a person has the moon in Aries, they are emotionally reactive, they are fast to react, passionate, fiery, impatient, however, they may be also deeply loyal. If somebody has a Aries rising or Aries as the first house, the world sees them as being bold, direct, ambitious, natural go-getters. If someone has Mercury in Aries, they are quick thinking, blunt, decisive. Their words are sharp and fast. If someone has Venus in Aries, even though Venus doesn't like to be here, it's in its detriment. Their love is passionate, fast moving, and intense. This person usually chases whatever they desire. Mars in Aries, oh my god, if a person has Mars in Aries, this is unstoppable drive, high energy, fearless actions. Mars is at home in Aries, so this person is comfortable at taking risk, comfortable at being bold, and have very high energy levels. If an individual has Earth in Aries, their physical world experience is a bit fast, competitive, quite dynamic. If Jupiter is in Aries, luck comes from bold risk and leadership. Saturn in Aries, Saturn doesn't necessarily like to be here, so this person may struggle with discipline but succeed if they are persistent. Neptune in Aries, your dreams may be vivid, action oriented, or even warrior like. You have a very vivid imagination. Pluto in Aries, transformation is going to come through battles and mustering up personal strength. Now that we understand Aries in all its glory, it's time to look forward to what Aries season will bring. We have some powerful and intense planetary alignments coming, including Sun, Venus, Mercury, all making major moves in the Aries space. So get ready for bold actions, major transformations, and fiery energy that will push you forward. Whether you're ready or not, stay tuned for the full Aries forecast. Major farewell until we meet again. I'm astrologer Kevin's Major, doing it major.